Hello there. Welcome to another surprise live stream. And what a great occasion to be streaming. It is Peter Cullen's birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Cullen, the legendary voice of Optimus Prime and many, many others. See Eeyore in the background there. And helping out today with going through the many voices that Peter Cullen has done over the years is a YouTube channel called Saturday Morning Rewind. They did a video on the many voices of Peter Cullen. Doesn't seem to be much activity recently on this channel. It looks like they're oh, hi there. Thanks for dropping in. Hey, Big Sunny. Happy birthday, Prime. It's been about a year since they've done a video. Their last one looks like it was Dick Guache, the voice of Serpentor and Rodimus Prime. So they did a video on Peter Cullen. So thanks to Saturday Morning Rewind. Check out their channel. Check out their... Oh, I sound a little distorted. Every time I try to have background music on this thing. Sorry about that. Every time I try to play background music on StreamYard, my voice gets all distorted. I'm going to cut the music here so you can hopefully hear me nice and clear here. Just did a self sound check and it sounds a lot better now. MC DJ, ACDC, how you doing, man? Dan Loki, hello there. Happy birthday, boss man. Good morning to you, Bubba Wave. Always nice to see you. Looks like my comments are getting slightly cut off by the video. Oh, there. Hi there. Happy birthday to Cullen. Yep, Destron Designs. Good to see you in here. Loved meeting the man himself. Peter Cullen is Optimus Prime. Someone just left a comment on my Optimus Prime video, and they said they met him at a convention and they didn't know what to say to him. So I guess to break the ice, they gave him the link to that video that I did on Optimus Prime. And that's one of the most touching things. I've had a lot of touching comments on my videos, but that's up there. That was to think that Mr. Cullen himself might have actually watched that Optimus Prime video I did. That's one for the bucket list. I'm Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. So I just want to finish plugging this channel that did this compilation video for us today. It is called Saturday Morning Rewind. There's their logo. Check them out. The links are underneath in the video description. And we're going to be taking a look at some of the voices that Peter Cullen has done over the years, not just Optimus Prime. Lots of happy birthdays coming in for Prime. And I'm going to be here for about the next half hour or so. And then I've got a Patreon and channel member live stream going on, just going over some of the big San Diego Comic-Con announcements. So Destron Designs is a Patreon member. You might want to check that out. We got a channel member here. So that one's going to be just for, oh, here's another member of the Patreon tribe. Happy birthday, Peter Cullen. I'd ask him to say, Autobots, let's roll out.
Bots recon.
Yeah, and give it like a little bit quieter.
I have witnessed their capacity for courage. And though we are worlds apart, like us, there's more to them than meets the eye.
What an incredible voice. So much power to it. Love it. And before we move on to some of the other voices that he's done here, I just wanted to mention that he did a TFCon. I've never met him. I hope to meet him someday. I just haven't been able to get out to any of the conventions he's come to in the area, but soon, hopefully. Excuse me while I take a sip of tea to loosen the vocal cords a bit. I don't know how he does it or any of those guys do it. My voice is shot when I finish recording one of my scripts. I don't know how they do it for hours and hours, day after day, and I don't even scream in my videos. These guys sometimes are yelling and booming. Iconic and powerful. Yes. Boo, he killed Optimus in that movie. Boo, will not wish him a happy birthday. Wasn't his choice. So, yeah, before I go on to some of the other clips, I wanted to mention he did a TFCon appearance, and he got asked about working on the Michael Bay movie. And what I really appreciate about Peter Cullen is that there was a line in particular that he didn't feel his Optimus Prime would say, and he made it known. And so he's one of the rare breed of performers that will speak up and say, I don't think this is in character. I'm not comfortable saying this. Because you're not just hiring a guy to just read whatever you put in front of him. You're hiring, I think in guys like Peter Cullen's case, you're hiring a bit of heart and soul too. And so he's telling them, look, I cannot put my heart and soul into something that's violent. Prime saying something that's just purely violent and hateful. It's not that he can't literally read it. It's that he can't put his heart and soul into it. He can't feel it. He can't put his truth and his emotion into it. Performers are always talking about truth. So he made it known, and I guess he did it. He had to do it, but then he did mention that they never asked him to do something like that again. So hats off to guys like him, like Steve Whitmire. Shannon says, happy birthday. He is absolutely legendary. Steve Whitmire got done so dirty by Disney a few years ago. He did the exact same thing. He said, look, I don't know if this is in the spirit of Jim Henson, what you want me to say in this new Muppets project. And they really did him dirty with a smear campaign and saying he was difficult to work with, which anyone who knows Steve Whitmire just said that's ridiculous. But yeah, let's go on to some of the many voices of Peter Cullen. I'm going to try to get through this video. If I don't, definitely check this video out over on Saturday Morning Rewind's channel. And you're going to be surprised by some of the voices he's able to do. It's not just the big, deep, booming Optimus Prime voice. Nathan says, happy birthday to Peter Cullen and happy 40th anniversary to Transformers. Kind of funny how that works out, eh? He is the one of the hearts and souls of Transformers. He's definitely up there with guys like Bob Budiansky, Simon Furman. He will be difficult to replace when the time comes. Let's see here. He did a voice on Muppet Babies.
Smoggy the Bear. I tried out for the part, but it didn't go for me. Only you can prevent smog. See what I mean?
That's a great one. I don't remember that one. There's I skimmed through this before going live here, and there's quite a few characters on here that I had no idea he actually played. I don't know if we'll get to it, but he was Streetwise on Transformers. I had no idea he was also Streetwise. I always knew he was Prime and Ironhide. But Streetwise, that was a surprise to me. Not that Streetwise had a lot of lines. Happy birthday, Peter, aka Optimistic Prime. Here's a voice of his on The Real Ghostbusters.
You can't do this, Steel. It's against the comics code. I'll get you for this. A brand new world, ripe for the picking, as soon as I get rid of Captain Steel.
There's just a standard, typical, nasty villain. Here's a voice from Dungeons. Chris, hi there. Happy birthday to Peter Cullen. This is great to see all the love for Mr. Cullen. Happy birthday. Let's see here. The Crab Nasties on My Little Pony. Dungeons and Dragons. Did you know he did a voice on this?
You are correct. He is returning, Shadow Demon. No matter what happens, I will survive to see those accursed children punished. And I will crush them.
That's pretty wild. I've never heard that one before. What's this character's name? Anyone know what this character's name is? I never saw the show. So going back to what I said earlier, how Peter Cullen said, I'm not comfortable saying this line is Prime, this violent line in the Michael Bay movie. It's not that he can't say the line. It's just he didn't feel like that's in character for that character. I mean, this guy right here, whatever his name is, would be perfectly comfortable saying anything like that. Yep, he was, apparently. What's his name? Anyone know his name? Cops. Isn't SG Optimus persona based on Venger? Crooked Ninja Turtle gang leader. I guess no one knows what this guy's name is.
Punished, and I will crush them. You take me for a dummy? I'm not a dummy. By nature's hand, by craft, by art, what once was one now fly apart.
I love hearing Peter Cullen read poetry. That is amazing. I would listen to a whole audiobook of Peter Cullen just reading like Keats, Maya Angelou. So there he is as I know this character, the dim-witted Sindar. He's the dumb Darkling Lord from Visionaries. He was the slow one. So again, showing some great range.
I'm not.
King Kong, 1976. I don't want to get copyright struck here. Usually okay with animated clips, but when you use movie clips on YouTube, that's when they get a lot more strict on your channel. I'm guessing he's doing the growling. Oh, Venger. Okay, thank you. Venger from Dungeons and Dragons. Thanks for that. Someone else I think mentioned it. There we go. Yeah, didn't realize that was a name, Venger. I guess he's doing the growling of King Kong here in 1976, almost a decade before he was Optimus Prime.
The lake.
That's wild. I've never heard anyone. I know he did the voice of the Predator, the crackling, and also the voice of the Predator at the very end when he's like growling at Arnold, "Who are you?" But he could do, like, I would have thought that's just a genuine gorilla sound. Maybe some of that underneath growling. Yep, the Predator's gurgling, crackling sound like a crab type of thing. Here's something from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
The Late Night Club presents Miss Pat Presto, the magician who makes your troubles disappear.
That's definitely Peter Cullen. 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo.
Spell of darkness, trance so deep, now and forever. Sleep.
That's definitely Peter Cullen also. And I guess he had a few on Scooby-Doo.
It's a fairly awesome thing to see, I must say.
Wow, that one's a surprising one. When he goes really high-pitched and nasally.
Ooh, a mirror floating by itself is a fairly awesome thing to see, I must say.
That's really surprising. Another happy birthday from Blue 18. Yeah, he did the Toynami narrator voices too. Here we go.
From the seeds of destruction, a new threat has arisen. A tree with the power to enslave a planet.
That is totally Optimus Prime. He's just doing the Optimus Prime voice. I remember hearing some of those, and that was before Transformers came back. So I remember seeing him or hearing him do narration on some movie trailers and this type of thing. And he was just doing the Optimus Prime voice and thinking, oh, Optimus lives. Because, G2 hadn't come back yet. Transformers, Beast Wars, like Transformers was still dead. Prime 46 Red has a happy birthday for Peter Cullen. Skip ahead here. Toynami. Oh, he was Nemesis Enforcer. I'm sure a lot of Joe fans know that.
Play Toonami.
Mostly just grunts and growls in this, but still that big, deep, booming voice of his really works for the probably 7-foot tall Nemesis Enforcer. That is terrifying. Peter Cullen's the only one that could hand the Sarge his butt like this. So there's that cackling, crackling sound that was mentioned earlier for Predator. Narrator of Voltron as well. Yep, on the intro, if you watch the intro to the original 80s Voltron, doing the Optimus voice on that. That's really cool. That not just the crackling, but he's doing that voice there. Peter Cullen versus Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 80s. And how many people knew it? I think they cut in Billy's voice there in the actual movie. Yeah, it is scary. Yeah, Nemesis Enforcer and Xandar as well. He did the voice of Xandar on G.I. Joe, Zartan's brother. Foofer. Not familiar with this show. Let's see if we can pick out which one is Peter Cullen.
I'm still hungry. That's our steak you're drooling on. It was with Sammy.
Well, he's the purple one. Obviously, it's the only one speaking, but that's sounds very similar to his murky, dismal voice.
I can't believe you gave those mugs half our haul.
That's great. Sounds like he has a lot of fun doing that one. And again, surprising he can get that high, get that like nasally and squeaky for a guy who has such a deep, booming voice. Happy birthday, Peter Cullen, the OGOP, always and forever.
Honey! Olaf! My daughter's marrying a great Viking, and my son's gonna be a great Viking.
That's very similar to his Optimus Prime voice. Oh, Donkey Kong. What is this? I didn't know there was a Donkey Kong show.
You help us find Donkey Kong, and we'll help you find Herman.
Well, how about that? Peter Cullen was Mario in this. When was this Donkey Kong cartoon? I'll look that up right now. Peter Cullen. I'm thinking probably mid-80s. Saturday Supercade, 83 to 84. Right around the time he was doing Transformers. How about that? Original Mario, I'm guessing. Peter Cullen, original voice of Mario.
You help us find Donkey Kong, and we'll help you find Herman.
It's wild.
So you have something very special in mind for all of you. Hand over the sepulcher.
How about that too? He's the voice of Sergeant Havoc, I think that is, from Rambo, who was, I mean, sort of based on the big Russian guy from Rambo First Blood, but also kind of based on Arnold Schwarzenegger. So we just saw a clip of the Predator and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and now Peter Cullen is voicing a very Arnold-like character on the Rambo cartoon. Russian Optimus Prime. Kind of, yeah, he does. Peter Cullen kind of does look like Mario. Yes, he voiced Eeyore and Winnie the Pooh for a very long time. And Car, yeah, you're right, on Kit. And they apparently, Disney unceremoniously relieved him of his Eeyore duties. And I remember seeing in a panel clip somewhere on YouTube, Peter Cullen is a class act. He doesn't, he really is Optimus Prime. He doesn't stoop to the level of mudslinging and, you know, just being giving what he's gotten sometimes. So he was kind of classy about it. He didn't really say awful things about Disney, but he made it clear that it was not very nice the way they just basically fired him after being Eeyore for so long. and it hurt him, and that hurt me to see that. I really hate to see voice actors treated like that. Just basically like, read the damn lines and shut up is how some studios treat these guys. And they just don't understand the heart and soul that some of these guys, the passion some of these guys put into these roles, and why they're so good at it, because they put their passion. You can't just fire a guy like that and say your services are no longer required. I always suspected it had something to do with him doing the voice of Optimus Prime in the movie, the Michael Bay movie, that Disney didn't want to do business with him anymore because he was doing business with a major competitor. But still, no class the way they treated him in terms of his Eeyore character. Only Donkey Kong I ever knew about was the CGI one everybody memes about. Yeah, he was Carr, the evil kid. Never knew Peter Cullen voiced Carr for Knight Rider and Murky Dismal on Rainbow Bright. Was delighted he voiced Airborne. All right, he was Airborne. Here's a Prime one.
Autobots. We're from Cybertron, a planet far from Earth. Those who tried to harm you are called Decepticons. We must stop them before they destroy your world.
That is my favorite Optimus Prime. It changes over the years, over the seasons. So Prime ends up being a lot more formal and enunciating every single syllable correctly, announcing those T's. But now I got to take it just from doing that, a sip of tea. Hang on. If I ever get to meet Peter Cullen, I'm going to ask him how he takes care of his throat. But I love this early Optimus Prime because he sounds like John Wayne. He's got a bit of twang to him. And that's why when he tells the story about how his brother Larry influenced the voice, I really hear that, his brother Larry in there. He just sounds like a normal guy. Sounds like John Wayne, and he drops it pretty quickly. I don't think it's even there near the end of the first season, but I just love that little bit of cowboy twang he had in those early episodes.
Before they destroy your world. Stop talking, tighten your shock absorbers, and get in.
And speaking of cowboy twang, the voice of Ironhide, my second favorite Transformer growing up.
We're gonna make a new river. The boy.
And I never knew he was Ironhide all those years ago. That was another surprise to find out. I found out after I watched the Transformers movie in the theater, because that was the first time we got a proper credit roll that said who everybody played. And during the end credits, it said Peter Cullen as the voice of Optimus Prime and Ironhide. That's where a lot of people found out. He was the voice of both of them. Here he is as some Target Master.
Are coming, nightstick. I hope you like busted heads. Yeah!
So sometimes these voice actors were just given like literally one line when they were doing the recordings at Wally Burst Studios, and like they didn't even know the name. Sometimes just read the line. You're an evil gun. Just do it. And so getting to chat with some of the guys at this past TF Con, they thought it was kind of funny how it was literally 15 seconds of their life back then. And now all these years later, 30 years later, 40 years later, they're sitting at a table talking to fans about the time you played Nightstick. And these actors are like, I really like that this character means so much to you, but wow, like I have no recollection of doing it.
Your history now, Autobosos! Slug Slingers here!
Well, there is a little fancier, a little more English sounding as Slug Slinger. Voice of my childhood, absolutely. Don't know about that because aside from Jim Cummings, all the Winnie the Pooh cast were changed. I read that one already. What else we got here?
No way! The temperature keeps climbing too fast outside. They'll be fine, at least till the ice melts.
So there he is as Streetwise. Peter Cullen was the voice of Streetwise. Possibly his only line in Transformers. I'm not even sure. Sometimes they had actors, like they changed the actors from episode to episode. I was talking to Terry McGovern at TFCon, and one of the Transformers they had on his banner or listed as one of the Transformers he performed was Windcharger, which he wasn't the only one to play Windcharger. So sometimes these guys shared roles in case they just needed a line and the regular guy wasn't there.
Fine, at least till the ice melts.
Cliff Jumper, to impair our judgment. As of today, only we 5 Autobots remain on this Earth.
And that's a lot more formal, wise, grandfatherly sounding Optimus Prime on Transformers Prime. Much different from those early episodes of G1 Transformers. And Rescue Bots. He did Prime a couple of times on a couple of different series.
I am Optimus Prime. I was not aware rescue teams were still active. My name.
Wow. I've never actually seen any of Rescue Bots. I've heard some people recommend it. So I was planning on doing Fans Hobby Power Baser video, and I thought I could put a couple of clips in there too, like I did on the Power Master Optimus Prime G1 video. And I've kind of exhausted all of the G1 Optimus lines to put over top of the Master Force clips, and I thought Transformers Prime, I could use that, but he's so deep and heavy and gravitas. I think I might have to go through some Rescue Bots clips for that video, because this sounds more like G1 Optimus Prime here. He's picking up the pace a little bit.
And I am Optimus Prime. I was not aware rescue teams were still active.
That's cool. That sounds a lot like G1 Prime. I have to check that show out. Here he is from the Transformers movie. Robert H. says, Streetwise is also the Protectobot I feel most of us forgot about. Yeah, a lot of the Protectobots, like Groove. No one ever really talks about Groove or Blades. First Aid got that one episode where he quit, so at least he had like the one featured role. But like even Hotspot, most of those guys didn't really get even like one character moment to remember them by. Caden, hi there. Did you hear about that they're making a crossover with Kit? Yep, saw that. Going to be talking about that in just about 15 minutes with the Patreon live stream roundtable I'm going to be doing. It looks cool. It looks cool, like the Ecto they did and the DeLorean. I hope they keep it up. Fall Guy truck probably never happened, but the Coyote X from Hardcastle and McCormick would be an instant buy from me. I like things that haven't been done to death. You know, like that's really cool, a kit transformer, but I've got a couple of kits. So, you know, it'd be cool to have, but I'm not rushing out to pre-order it or anything. But like a Coyote X transformer, there haven't been too many Coyotes. Gunstar, Patreon tribe member. Hope to see you in a few minutes there on the Patreon live stream. We got to meet Peter Cullen March 2020 at a convention, right when everything was shutting down. He and Welker could have easily canceled, but they stayed to meet the fans anyway. Class personified, both of them, absolutely. Peter Cullen, legend. Frank Welker, simply the best voice actor that ever lived. One day it would be nice to meet them. Chicago Fan Expo, for anyone in that area, or if it's not too far a trip. Frank Welker and Peter Cullen are both going to be at Chicago Fan Expo coming up soon, I think in August. And then Peter Cullen is going to be at TFCon Baltimore in November, I think. So if you want to meet the man himself, the birthday, I won't call him a birthday boy, he's a birthday man. Check out Chicago Fan Expo or TFCon in Baltimore. Josh says, happy birthday, Peter Cullen. My friend Karen, who collected My Little Pony, told me that she never expected Peter Cullen voiced Captain Crab Nasty in the 80s My Little Pony cartoons. Really love the Rescue Bot series, longest running TF show, and tells a fun story. I got to check it out. I know it's specifically aimed at little kids, but so was G1. Sometimes, especially in this day and age, it's kind of a relief. Stuff that's aimed at a younger audience. It means that it's going to be, less violence, less darkness. The world is so dark and dreary and violent and mean-spirited, and I just find it refreshing sometimes to watch stuff like that that's more optimistic. Zazel's Clubhouse. Good morning to you, sir. Good to see you in here. Zazel's got an awesome new video. Check it out on his channel, Slaughterhouse.
From the planet Cybertron.
Man, they really modulated his voice, or whatever the term is. They deepened it a lot here. I don't think they needed to.
My name is Optimus Prime. We are autonomous robotic organisms from the planet Cybertron.
Still awesome, though. We saw some Scooby-Doo earlier. Don't have much time left here, so let's... Oh, Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore. We got to have an Eeyore clip on here.
Well, not everywhere. Just finished it this morning. Built to last the ages, using all the finest timbers.
It's like Ironhide, low on energon. That's what Eeyore is. He's just doing Ironhide, but low on fuel.
The ages, using all the finest timbers.
Or Ironhide is like a supercharged Eeyore. Here's some more Eeyore.
Bit drafty. Might leak some. Sort of.
Leaking lubricant. That's awesome.
There's nothing wrong with playing with make-believe friends. Why, when I was a boy,
Oh, that's one of the main characters on the real Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters. The Filmation Ghostbusters.
Oh, no, it isn't. That's why we'd like the Ghostbusters to get there first in Dr. Reiser's Ultra Sub. And remember, this is top secret.
Interesting. Okay, so when they were phasing him out of Transformers in '86, Prime had been killed. They brought him back for a few guest shots. I guess he had a few characters in the background here and there. Over on G.I. Joe, he was Xandar, which is a very small role. So in '86, one of his major roles instead of Transformers was this show, Ghostbusters, for Filmation. Zazel's got a comment. I also know for Nemesis Enforcer, but we all know that, and knowing is half the battle. Yo, Joe. A little off topic. Are you looking forward to to Transformers 1? No. Just being honest. I take a while to get to everything. I'm sitting here saying I got to check out this Rescue Bots thing. How old is that? Yeah, I don't really rush out to watch any new Transformer shows. I tried for years, and I've just been disappointed over and over again. So I just kind of I don't rush anymore. Some of those Netflix Transformer shows just, like I said, dark, dreary, depressing. It's overload.
The spell is broken. She must be stopped.
Well, we saw that guy earlier. What was his name again? A bunch of people were trying to tell me, and I wasn't understanding. Venger, that's it. Venger. Ah, there's Murky Dismal. Perfect.
Yep, I've got the color crystal. Now for the sprite's fur. Me after them. Sneak up on them. He's our last chance.
I love that voice so much. It sounds so fun to do. It kind of looks like Peter, at least with the mustache too. It's a great voice. Transformers aren't fun anymore. That's right. Everybody's Batman was my wife's assessment. We tried to watch some Netflix Transformer show. And, Bumblebee was talking like this, and everybody was talking like this. Optimus. And she said, why is everybody Batman? You can say that about the world, not just about Transformers. Everybody's trying to be Batman. Happy birthday, Peter Cullen. Thank you for my childhood. Oops. Spider-Man and his Pirates of Dark. There's so many good ones here. Oh, he was Mr. C on G.I. Joe. This is a Buzz Dixon creation, I believe. Talked to Buzz a couple of times here on the channel. This is so Buzz Dixon.
Step aside, woman. I'm bad. And I'm out of work. You got any openings in G.I. Joe?
That's awesome. I had no idea Peter Cullen did Mr. C. That's fantastic. And here he is as Xandor, Zartan's brother.
I'm with Saran. Things are getting too dull around here.
Oh, smooth like butter when he's Xandar.
Of course, sir. When you let the enemy think he's in charge, it's easy.
Pirates of Dark Water, and then one of my favorites from childhood, Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
There is danger. Real danger. You can't hear me. No, I can't change. Got to get away.
That one's very different from most of his voices that he's done. It's not over the top. It's just, I think that's one of the closest ones to Peter Cullen's real speaking voice.
And spoiling my party. The other guests are arriving.
I believe he's Red Skull there. So we saw him do a German accent earlier, Russian accent earlier. Here he is doing German as Red Skull.
And spoiling my party.
Sehr gut, Farfik Nugan. Mysterio?
I can destroy you through your mindless idol worship. If they want movie stars, they'll get movie stars.
Wild. Mysterio. What else? DuckTales. Interesting. Terry McGovern was Launchpad McQuack on DuckTales.
We just received special orders. We have to put to sea immediately. One of ours or one of theirs. Civilians.
Cool. Gummy bears. Oh, yes. I remember he was one of the gummy bears. Gremlins. Okay, so he was the Predator and the Gremlin, or some Gremlins, too.
Then, single-handedly, I sent the scoundrels fleeing from the forest. Juice? Never heard of the stuff. All I need are my muscles.
Cool. Heathcliff as well.
Free! I was paroled today for good behavior. Look, I just stopped by here to say hello. Now I've got to get to my parole officer.
Awesome. Oh, voice on Sectars as well.
The secrets of the Great Hive will never belong to the Dark Domain.
You're wrong, Mantor. The map is the key.
As Mantar. Superman. Gonna wrap it up here. Oh, the commercials. He also did a bunch of commercials.
New from the Masters of the Universe collection, each sold separately. Other action figures also sold separately. From Mattel.
Man, he speaks like at his regular pace on cartoons, but when he does these commercials, he's just going a mile a minute. He's going as fast as John Machida, voice of Blur.
Power to wipe out anything you'll encounter on the battlefield. If you know how to use it properly.
Dino Riders. Rascals, Pound Puppies.
I ship out tomorrow night with Pound Puppies.
One almost sounds like the Predator. And wrapping up here with, we got at the end, robotics. Oops.
You weak spirited protectons, and the fate of all cowards is death.
Wow, that's cool. That's the voice I used for Overlord in History of Transformers, 1987. Didn't even realize that was Peter Cullen.
Is death.
And that's it. That's the Peter Cullen birthday stream. Get a few more comments here. Brilliant. I watched the 80s TMNT cartoon episode Return of Shredder. I recall Peter voiced Smash, sensei of the Slash for Cash dojo. leads the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang as they framed the turtles. And fun fact for Gremlins 2, we didn't get the Hulk Hogan scene here in Australia. You got John Wayne. That's better. That's awesome. Okay, that's the Peter Cullen birthday stream. Thank you, everybody, so much. So many people checked in here for the birthday stream. Thanks, guys. Quite a few of you. Earlier on, Kerrigan and Big Sunny and MC DJ. Hope to see you on the exclusive stream I'm about to do at noon. Dan Loki, Boba Wave. Thanks, everyone. Destron Designs. See you at the Patreon stream in a bit. So many people. Luke Wiltshire, Shannon, Nathan, Michael. Awesome, man. Thank you. It's been a pleasure chatting with all of you. Thanks, Dan. Glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it too. Big happy birthday to Mr. Peter Cullen. Going to put some birthday music on here to close out this stream. And hope you all have a fantastic day and a fantastic week. Take care, everyone.